y'all. So I'm not sure if I'm depressed because I'm burnt out, if I'm burnt out because I'm depressed, or if it was that whole Mercury and retrograde shenanigans that all the astrology girlies are talking about. What I do know is that I am tired and I don't feel like myself, and I don't feel very well. So I've dedicated this next week to healing myself physically, mentally, emotionally, all that good jazz, because it's been rough. The rules for like this next week that I've made for myself are very simple. 1, I don't work. I took about a week off of work so I don't have to go into my 9 to 5. 2, every day I would try something new. It can be as simple or as complicated as I want it to be. 3, I spend at least 10 minutes a day to my mental, physical, and emotional health, so about 30 minutes in total. And 4, I allow myself to be lazy with no judgment, no criticism. So maybe if you haven't been feeling like yourself lately, you can follow along too. That'd be amazing. I'd love to have you on for the journey. And even if you do feel fine, feel great, feel dandy, feel free to stick around and see what happens. All this beautiful like sunlight I get in here. Look at just all of this light. All of this light, and just so much light. But I burnt this incense. I'm going to clean up a little bit maybe, or drink some tea. I really don't know. The whole point of like all of this is that I just kind of do what I feel is right. So it feels right now is burning this incense and recording. We're starting to record for this video, and I'm not even sure like what I'm gonna do in the next 5 minutes, which is very out of character for me. I do like to have like a set plan, but I'm trying something different because yeah, I just need to do something different. So my incense burning, it smells delish. The vibes have just been like really off for me for the past maybe about month. I go to therapy like once every 2 weeks. I go every other week, and I was explaining this to my therapist I think last month, and I was like, I just feel like really weird, like really off, and like all of these things I was telling her. And she told me, she said, you need to take like a week off of work and like focus on yourself and recharge because I think you're burnt out. And I was like,
yeah girl, okay, whatever.
Like I haven't been working at my job for like even like a year yet. I think it's been like 5 or 6 months, and I don't want to take off for a whole week because like what do I really have to be stressed about? So I was like, what do I have to be stressed about? Like there's no reason for me to be burnt out. That's ridiculous. So like I'm not gonna do it. Lo and behold, like 2 weeks ago and part of last week, I felt like I was losing my literal mind. Like I felt like I was going crazy, and I was like, you know, I think she's right. Like I need to take this time off. Okay, so you know when you're not feeling too hot and like the very last thing that you want to do is clean. That's been me for like 2 weeks, right? The best that I've been able to do is like clean. I call it like, I say you can do anything for at least 10 minutes. And so that's how I've been keeping my house like relatively at all decent, is I clean for at least 10 minutes one room just to like keep some things in check. Regardless, it's still pretty messy. So that's what I'm just gonna do right now. I'm gonna spend 10 minutes cleaning my kitchen, and everything's not going to get cleaned in 10 minutes. I don't care, that's fine. As long as it's better than where I started, then like I'm content. Why is mouthwash in the kitchen? You tell me. So grab your headphones, girl, boy, y'all, and let's just spend like 10 minutes cleaning a little bit because you'll probably feel better afterwards. You can clean with me. I'll do a little time lapse, okay? That I need to eat. You ever get in those moods where like you're hungry but like nothing sounds satisfying? Like everything sounds either too heavy or too light or too sweet or too salty and just not right. Anyway, this is my go-to thing to eat when I feel like that. I'm like squatting to get in the frame right now. So I have some hot water on there for tea. Ow, my hip. I have hot water on the stove for tea, and I'm going to make some rice and eat it with seaweed. That's it. It's simple. One of my favorite things to eat. You know when you're like feeling pretty down or whatever and eating, you just don't feel like it, which is so like bizarre for me to say sometimes because like, I love to eat and like I love food. But the past couple of weeks, every time my stomach grumbles, I'm like, dude, again? Like you need to eat again? How frustrating, how annoying, how embarrassing to be a human. Snakes eat like once every 5 months or something. But anyway, so I remember I was on a Zoom call with my therapist, and she's like, how's your eating habits been? And I was like, my what? She's like, your eating habits. And I was like, I don't want to talk about it. Eating habits haven't been too great, I won't lie to you. And she's like, yeah, I had a feeling. When's the last time you ate some vegetables? Girl, mind your business. Mind your business. Later today, I'm gonna bake that TikTok pasta, you know, the creamy feta one. So I'm excited for that. I got all the ingredients for it. I'm gonna make that for lunch. And I'm trying to decide if I want to bake bread today or tomorrow. Anywho, that was hot. I knew it was hot. I don't know why I took such a big sip. I'm gonna finish eating. Make sure that you eat today too, even if you don't want to, even if it's something small. My friend told me she's only been eating like boxed mac and cheese for like the past week, and I was like, I can't even fault you. At least you're eating something. Like, happy for you. You're doing absolutely amazing. So I just got done doing like a 10-minute meditation, and you know how typically people say, my hair's so big. That's not what they say, but they typically say like, when you're done meditating, like you feel so great and just cleansed and whatever. You really get done meditating or journaling or after a therapy session, like all these things are supposed to be so good for like your mental and like, yeah, just like your mental well-being, and then you're done and you're just like, well, that happened. That's kind of how I felt after that. The thing is, we live in like a society where there's just so many distractions. Like personally, like I'm always on my phone. Whether I'm on Instagram, Googling something, Pinterest, checking my email, like I'm always on my phone. So I feel like I'm like always distracted. So when I do take the time to like sit down, like not be distracted, sometimes it's fine. Sometimes I meditate and I'm like, I'm in my Zen bitch shit, here I go. But sometimes I sit down and meditate and like some stuff just starts coming up, especially like personal realizations, because I was just sitting there and I was just thinking about things as you do when you sit there in silence to meditate. And I realized a lot of what I've been feeling lately is just in some way, shape, or form is just a very deep sense of disappointment for my life, which like not to sound morbid or like sad or anything, but it is like it's been very disappointing, and I know that I don't process disappointment well. I honestly don't think I ever have. Like I'm still working on that, and so all these negative feelings that have come up in the past like month or so, I think mostly stem from like just a very deep sense of disappointment. Like ever since the pandemic started, it's like, I'm not saying I haven't had my triumphs, because I have, but like a lot of things have been like very disappointing. Like not having a senior year of college, very disappointing. Not having a graduation, super disappointing. Starting working in a field that I can confidently say that I don't actually like, so disappointing. That's so disappointing, because I really thought I would. That would actually explain a lot of what I feel, is that it just feels like constant disappointment. And my family lives in South Carolina. I don't live there. I live away from my family. My mom lives in this, my parents live in the state, but like my grandparents, my aunts and cousins don't. And my mom suggested that since I'm off, we go to South Carolina for a couple of days, like a little road trip. And I really wanted to, like a really big part of me wanted to, and then I am not gonna cry, oh my god. But then like another like really big part of me was just too afraid to go because there's a pandemic. Oh my god, what the hell? And that's very disappointing. I really miss my family. I haven't seen them in about a year now. I decided not to go to South Carolina. I decided not to see my family because pandemic. And even if I caught something, there's a really big chance like I'd be fine, because like I am young and relatively healthy. I know that it's not always the case, but there's a chance I'd be fine. But the idea of just like stopping at a gas station or something and picking something up and like giving it to my grandparents or my aunt or my cousins, like that's it's really terrifying, and it's really disappointing that I don't get to see my family anymore. I'm actually crying, oh my god. Yeah, so that like all of that just came up from a 10-minute meditation, which is why like meditating isn't always, you don't always like feel better afterwards. I'm sorry. I really miss my family. A lot of circumstances that I can't control have been wildly disappointing, to say the least. Yikes. People who refuse to stay home and refuse to wear masks, they go about their day and their lives like everything is fine. They go on their little vacations and they go see their family and hang out with their friends. But then there's people who actually have half a brain and know that there's a pandemic with a deadly virus. We, I'm a part of them, I don't want to say obey the rules, but pretty much, you know, we take logic into consideration. I wish I had no critical thinking skills, as Twitter says, because y'all seem so happy. Like if I had none, I would just go do whatever the fuck I want to do. No, I would just go see my family. I would just go hang out with my friends. But I have a very real fear of killing someone or myself that a lot of people just don't seem to have. So I've been very disappointed lately. I had a cute little cry after filming that. Here's your daily reminder that it's okay to cry. Finally left my house, going for a little walkaroo. It's supposed to be winter, but as of lately, it's been like hot as hell, even though we just had an ice storm last week. So global warming's really gonna take our asses out, huh? Oh my god, the light. It looks so pretty. Yes, I call myself pretty very often. If I catch good light, I call myself pretty because life's too short. No one else is gonna do it, so I might as well do it for myself. Guys, I like to read. I really do. And I ordered 2 books off of Amazon. And I was waiting for them to get here, but turns out they just stuffed them in my teeny tiny mailbox. And I don't check my mailbox every day, so like Lord knows how long they've been there. But I'm really excited. So excited. Okay, so the first one I got is You're a Badass at Making Money. And then the ultimate one, like I'm super pumped for. This one, In the Mountains Echoed. That's nice. I got 2 books today. See, it's the small things because I'm so excited to read these. So it's getting kind of late. It's not that late. It's 7 o'clock. Let me stop lying. But I just got done with my group session for my anxiety support group. It's just so nice to get with people who like I can relate to. Like one girl was just saying some stuff and I was just like, I'm smiling because you and I are one. Like I'm not making fun of you. Like I don't think you're crazy. Like I just, everything that you're saying, like I'm going through, but like in a slightly different capacity. Like I'm like, oh, that's so crazy. It's nice to get with like-minded people, especially when there's something like anxiety. And something my therapist said in the group, like, do you guys ever get like mad about your anxiety? And I thought about it and I was like, yeah, I really do, because a lot of times I just wish like my brain function normally and it doesn't. Like when I start getting randomly just like anxious about something just like so trivial and stupid, like I know it's trivial and stupid, and then I try to tell someone who doesn't deal with anxiety and then like they just sort of make it feel trivial and stupid, and then I feel just dumber, and it's just frustrating because I just want like my brain to work properly without medication and without all of these other measures. But I guess these are just the cards that I've been dealt, and I just have to sort of manage it.